and is dead.
Oh, wait. I thought I saw something about that.
Yeah, I read that.
They tried to resuscitate him, and it didn't work. And so, dead at 71.
Oh. He looked like a walking heart attack ready to happen, though.
Well, yeah, steroid use.
Yeah.
At least they tried to resuscitate him. It didn't work. And so
Steroids? You're saying that wasn't natural?
no, yeah, brother, yeah, brother. You do the prayers, you do the workout, and then you do the steroids. You get like me, yeah, brother. There's no way that no, that's not natural. Holy fuck no.
I'm making another cup of coffee. This is coffee cup number 3.
Number 3?
Yeah. Yeah. Does that seem like too much?
You don't think the content in this live is going to keep you awake enough?
I don't know.
Here, let me get the link out, Brandon. Send it to you.
Oh boy.
My knife.
Oh boy. Let's see. Where are you gonna sit? Oh, just okay. Yeah.
I know, yeah, I'm just saying, that was a rabbit hole I did not need to go down. Are you a Zelda fan?
Zelda? Yes.
Yeah. Find out how much.
I mean, I like Link.
I don't think you will after you see that one.
Don't they refer to isn't sneaky? Oh, it's Link. Sneaky links. Isn't that a phrase? Have you heard that?
No, I've never heard that.
Sneaky links. It's like down low hookups.
Oh, okay. I mean that whole space is very confusing to me.
Well, yeah, I know. I don't know all about it. I mean, I'm learning.
Just talking about queer culture moments. You know, because I started out pre-transition. We would probably have dated, Brandon. I'll just tell.
Aww.
But regardless, so I had a friend, like, I was on, here we go, gay story. I was on Grindr one day, and some guy was talking to me, and he kept saying this, an acronym that I did not understand what it meant.
Yeah.
FDAU.
F as in
Yes.
F.
D A U.
I know sign language.
Right. ASL's not my thing. I'm not even going to pretend.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, so I went to one of my gay friends and I was like, "What the fuck does this mean?" They were like, "Oh no, you don't want to do that." And I'm like, "Okay." I mean, he's kind of cute though. And they were like,
FDAU. I don't think I've heard that one. FDAU.
Face down, ass up.
Oh, right. I have heard that phrase. I don't. Sometimes I can't put the acronyms together.
Like doggy style?
What, face down, ass up? No, that
downward dog.
No. So, Brandon, do you want to? I'll let you explain that.
Well, I mean, I guess not. Well, it's not really doggy style because that's like on all fours. It's more like you're like on the bed, you know, like your face is in the bed, or whatever surface you happen to be utilizing. But yeah, you're just
the purpose is anonymous. You never see the person that you're interacting with. And so, like, the so the whole rationale is that, you get like a hotel room and you leave the door open and people come in and take turns.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those on Grindr that want that kind of thing. I'm not really comfortable with that on either end. I'm like, what if, for one thing, what if I get the wrong place? But no, I've never done that, and I'm not really interested in that kind of interaction.
No, as a person who is an emotional being, I want to be connected to people. This, I happen to be a very demisexual person,
and
you understand what that means?
Yeah, not actually not very long, but I looked it up and everything. I was like, okay, what exactly is it? So yeah.
So
a what sexual person?
I have two types of sexuality. So sapiosexual, and demisexual. I'm both of those. And so
I don't know that I haven't heard that first one.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll explain that. That's actually very easy to explain. So a demisexual is a person that has to have an emotional connection with somebody before you can do the before you can have fun.
Yeah,
it's emotionally connected to the person. But then the other terminology is sapiosexual, and the only way that I can explain sapiosexual is this. If I could take her brain out of her head and fuck it, I would. Because sapiosexual people are attracted to intelligence. And so the sexiest thing about her is her brain. I mean, I find her physically attractive and all of that stuff, but so a sapiosexual person is a person that's attracted to it. And so, yeah, you have to be smart, and I have to be able to establish an emotional connection with you before I can do anything. And so maybe that was one of the reasons why Grindr never worked for me.
Yeah, I don't think there were too many people on there that were looking for intelligence.
Or Tinder. Was it Tinder? Yeah, just like a hookup app or
whatever. Yeah. Tinder quit being a dating app a long fucking time ago.
I haven't seen that really. I mean, I'm on several of them, but Tinder is one of them, and I haven't. There are quite a few people that I've seen on there that say they're looking for long-term relationships and stuff.
Yeah, but a lot of that, the thing about Tinder is that maybe Tinder has tried to clean it up, and Tinder has tried to like appropriate it in a better way. Maybe, I don't know, but that for a long time, Tinder, if you wanted something, I can confirm that. Charlie is asking this question because I actually know the answer to that question is, I believe your other parent was using Match.com, and that's what she used to meet her current person. But Tinder is I don't know, Tinder, Bumble, the coffee one, those.
Oh, what's the coffee one? I don't know that one.
Yeah, there's a coffee one.
I like coffee.
Oh,
Well, I love coffee.
Facebook has one, and
Yeah.
my daughter met her boyfriend on Hinge.
Oh yeah, I've heard of
Yeah.
Hinge.
I'm sorry. Coffee meets bagel is the yeah. And it's billed as meaningful relationships, and then Hinge, you can find alternative, like a lot of lesbians are on Hinge. Huge amount of like bisexual women, trans women, and lesbians are on Hinge, and her, versus I don't know. That's the thing. I like for gay relationships. Like I remember Grinder. I was on Growler for a while too.
Oh yeah,
But
there's
Growler,
Something you put beer in.
well, Growler that's like the bear crowd.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're into the bear daddy
Like
type of person.
we talked about Lawrence. Did he get his beard shaved? He looked different today.
No, I like he trimmed it down.
Yeah, on the earlier.
Yeah, he trimmed it.
Yeah,
down.
a few weeks ago he was sick and trimmed his beard.
Yeah,
well,
trimmed it down. You do that when you get sick. Look, at one time I had a beard a foot below my chin.
Oh,
And I had, not anymore, thanks to laser hair removal. I had a significant amount of body hair.
That's a
Yeah.
heated.
I really shocked you. When I was in college, I had my hair down to my waist. I had a beard down to about here. And I hate to say this, I was the douchey, like, did it hurt? Not really. And then I was the douchey, like, wear the button, like the button down, like the pattern button down shirts, but unbutton like 3 buttons down. I was that douchey guy. Or like I wore the t-shirt under the button down shirt and left the button down shirt open. And then jeans and tennis shoes or whatever. My fashion statement when I was younger was not great. Wasn't great. So anyway, yeah. So you're not experiencing that on Tinder? I'm kind of shocked because Tinder for a long time was like the hookup app.
no, I mean, even on Grindr, yeah, it is definitely mostly hookups. But there are some guys on there that say they don't want hookups. It's like I don't want to see your dick pics or whatever. I'm
Right.
looking for a relationship or whatever. I was like, well, then why are you on this app? Because there are other ones that are probably you'll find a lot more of that kind of person. I'm on Bumble and Tinder and OkCupid and there's one called Jacked. It seems like it's mostly black guys that are on that one. But
yeah, but I think Jacked falls into the spurt category. And maybe what's the other BBRT? But BBRT, that's all fucking hookups.
BBRT, I don't know that one.
I want. Let me see if it's still out there. Yeah, BBRTS mobile, and that's guys that are looking for unprotected activities.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that whole, oh my god.
Archer seems to have a lot of hookup ones.
Yeah. Oh, and then there's Chappie, but I think Chappie is now part of Bumble's network.
Oh, I don't know that one.
But from my perspective, if you're a gay or a queer person, like Hinge, Bumble, and OkCupid, I think those are the safe. Like, those are people that want relationships.
Well, maybe I should look at Hinge.
Although, for whatever reason, I live in Atlanta, so the Atlanta grinder crowd, especially, a number of years back, a lot of those guys were the chaser type, and that was a very big problem in Atlanta. Atlanta had a large anonymous and bug chasing community, and if you're a queer person and you live in that space, it's not a good space. Yeah, Julie, I think Brandon can confirm this, but very early on, especially in the early 2000s, there were guys that would purposely have sex with HIV positive men in an attempt to get infected because they believed they were going to get infected eventually anyway. And so it became a cultural phenomenon. And so that made dating in Atlanta, if you were in gay and queer spaces, very difficult. Yeah.
It's like those moms, their kids to get chicken pox or whatever.
Yeah.
They didn't
Same deal.
the vaccine for their kids or something. I mean, like, ugh.
Yeah, I just get vaccinated. Well, back in the 70s, they didn't have a vaccine for it.
Right. Or the PrEP. What is it now? PrEP that you can take.
So pre-active retroviral drugs have sort of killed the whole bug chasing deal because, like Truvada, if you're on Truvada, you have a 99.9% likelihood that if you're exposed to somebody that has a virus, you will catch it.
Mm-hmm.
So Motrox and Truvada and the other PrEP drugs all pretty much kill that whole rationale. Of course, that means there's a lot of guys in the gay community here in Atlanta that now that PrEP exists, it's open season and it's just constant. You can't go into gay spaces and talk to somebody and say, "Hey, can we go out sometime? Can we date?" And the guy will look at you and go, "No, I just want to fuck." And if you're not going to give it up, then I'll go to the next person down the line. And it's really bad. There's 3 big clubs in Atlanta: Blake's on the Park, the Heretic, and then what's the other one? Burke's. Burke's was the other really big gay bar. And the last time I went into any of those, it was like, "Hey, do you want to have a conversation?" "No, I just want to fuck." "Well, I'm not interested." "Okay, goodbye." So, versus 15, 20 years ago, you had to be careful, especially if you weren't the, that type of person that didn't give a shit or whatever. That was a real problem. And so, now people just don't care. And so it becomes even more notoriously difficult. By the way, Brandon, I'm gonna set you up.
Oh,
I know people in your area. I'm gonna find somebody and set you up. I look. Everybody's seen Fiddler on the Roof, right?
I haven't. No.
What?
I know. There are a lot of
tradition.
Oh yeah. Wait, matchmaker.
I mean,
right? Is
yes, matchmaker, make me a match.
Oh yeah. I've heard some of the songs and I'm kind of familiar, but I haven't seen it.
I have a habit of doing that. I have a habit of setting people up with people I know because I want people to have meaningful relationships. I mean, I've been trying to get Elaine and Lisa J together for fucking days. It's not working.
Well, a lot of the profiles now, there's a section of that says safety, and you put in whether you're what kind of safety practices you use if you're on prep or whatnot.
Right.
But you don't. I mean, that's not a requirement, but it's there in case, because some people do want to know,
That's completely sensible. Oh, there's a pussy on the floor.
Yeah, and they were fighting. Oh, there's Truffles. She's my 16-year-old cat. She's like 6 pounds.
Oh,
And Murphy's like 14 pounds.
Oh, so he's a little chonker.
He's chunky. He's the one that scratched my eye. It's healing though, and they have to get in the box. There's a box. So, oh, and look at my foil. They're scratching the crap. I mean, this is so embarrassing. It's like they scratched that. They scratched the corner of my bed, the box for whatever. I don't know. I have friends who are like, "You should get them declawed." I'm like, no.
Oh no.
No, I think that's heartless to do that to it.
I think so too. I am very much against declawing cats.
Yeah, because if they get outside then we have coyotes and shit. Like, I don't know. I don't want them out there.
There's
Yeah,
never they're never able to defend themselves.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's kind of pretty much their only line of defense, and it's part of their identity. They climb and stuff. I don't have a problem with mine scratching any of my furniture.
Yeah.
I have scratching posts and scratchers on the floor, and
I should get a few more. Yeah, I used to have more of those. Yeah.
They have plenty to scratch on without needing to do it on the furniture. So
yeah,
my cat just uses me to scratch on.
Oh, that works too.
Yeah, my cat just uses me to scratch on. Wow, Amber's right. So we lost Malcolm Jamal Warner, Ozzy, and Hulk Hogan. Did you know about Malcolm Jamal Warner, Eileen?
No.
Theo Huxtable from The Cosby Show.
Oh. Oh.
He drowned. That was not.
Oh.
Yeah, he got caught in undercurrent.
Wait, Ozzy died?
Yeah, Ozzy's dead. You didn't hear?
God. I've been trying to catch up on Politics Chat with Heather Cox Richardson and her interview with some judge about the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Oh my gosh. Ugh.
Yeah.
A lot to keep track of.
Yeah, well, with Ozzy though.
Oh, okay.
It was like he did his final show.
Yeah.
And the way that the media has been painting it, and based on all the sources that I've read, he stopped taking his medications for Parkinson's.
Oh.
So that he could get on stage and sing a song.
Oh.
And
because the medications like subdued him so much.
Yeah, keep him level, and by going off of his meds.
Oh.
That caused caused that to happen. But Terry Bollea
is brain or whatever, some sort of like not a stroke, or I don't know. They didn't say. Oh.
Yeah, Amber's right. He stopped taking his meds, specifically his pain meds, so that he could perform or whatever. And so, but I mean, with Hulk Hogan was a heart attack.
Yeah.
But as I was saying earlier, steroid use, that's a byproduct of steroid use, is you get an enlarged heart.
Oh.
I am not a wrestling fan, but I know this detail for some weird reason. But here's the thing. Wrestlers, that industry specifically, has the largest number of heart attacks of any sports industry. And it's because, if guys are taking steroids, that affects your cardiovascular system a whole bunch.
You know what's a weird thing that Heather Cox Richardson brought up is that the naming of football teams and sports teams in the early 20th century was after Native American tribes or like the Chiefs or all that kind of stuff, Redskins, all that, was a way because they team sports was a way for men to be manly because of the Industrial Revolution and or the way work was changing, like more white collar work. She says things better than I do, but anyway, it was a way for okay, so, like, a man works in a factory, but he's not on a farm anymore, so then he can do his factory shift and go to a a sports game and live vicariously his manliness through the teams that he was a fan of, so, like, they were named, af the savagery, that they couldn't live in their lives, but whatever. Does that make sense? It's just very odd.
Well, yeah. So here's the you know about the '50s wife trauma, right?
50s wife trauma?
The '50s wife trauma.
Being a
So,
the '50s was traumatic? I mean, '50s wife trauma. Um, or like the wives that are like what is that when their husbands goes or something? Their husbands golf and then they're like a golf widow or something.
um,
Oh, okay, so what wife trauma?
give me just a second.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody just called me out, so I had to reply. Anyway, yeah, so here's the education time, history lesson. You ready for a history lesson? Because it's gonna cause trauma by giving you the history lesson, but you need to get into it.
Okay.
Okay, so
Uh,
basically
I'll be right back. I gotta get off for just a second.
Okay.
we'll invite Brandon back in a second, but, um um, sh uh, what the fuck? Okay. I gotta look this up on my
I'm gonna go on a tangent. I guess that's why I loved Bewitched growing up when I was a kid because she was so not traditional. She was not she was like the opposite of June Cleaver, Samantha. And the
Yeah,
oh, and
yeah,
then the Dr. Bombay. I mean, talk about the first time you see, like, a gender queer person on TV.
you're
Sorry,
right.
there's my tangent.
No, so, here was the deal, that in the '50s, there was drama, so the war happened, um, and when the war happened and the war was over, a large body of men, um, had been fighting the war, and so the Rosie the Riveter era happened.
Oh, yeah.
So women were in the factories working the jobs that the men couldn't, and so yeah, right. Rosie the Riveter, strong lesbian woman. So,
You have to be lesbian, I mean
no, but strong women. I mean, the
yeah.
strong women's are,
I mean, my daughter works on a cattle ranch for crying out loud. She's think she's lesbian, I mean, as far as I know.
um,
Any type of,
so
see or whatever, yeah.
right. So there was this whole narrative about when the war was over, all the men were coming home. And so, um, with that narrative, societally, women were encouraged to behave a certain way and, uh, rationalize supporting the husband. And so the 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 '50s wife, like the June Cleaver wife. Um, uh, you know, that's when that happened. And so there was this whole thing about the rules. Okay, we can bring Brandon back now, I think. There was the whole thing about the rules. And so the government sort of did this. Is everything okay, Brandon?
Yeah. Somebody came to my door. Unexpected, so I needed to
Okay. No, we're
deal with that. No big deal.
I don't know, man. Anybody coming to my door these days, that's kind of scary.
Yeah, well, I don't get visitors out here very often, but so I was like, oh, what's going on?
Oh,
So yeah, it was fine.
Um, so um, anyway, so there was this whole deal about women um, uh, being, um, you know, subservient to the man, and so the war was over, and men were coming home, and it was all about giving up the jobs that men had worked at the time, women had worked at the time, to give um, that over to the men and then become subservient. So the subservient wife bullshit happened because of the war. But like, there were rules like, have dinner ready on the table when your husband gets home. Take 15 minutes, make sure your makeup is good. Um, you know, like from the actual rules in Housekeeping Monthly from 1955, be a little gay and a little more interesting for him. Clear away clutter and make sure that there's nothing to stress him out, and have a drink ready for him. And then like the bad shit, like in the rules, it was written like, you know, don't talk too much about your problems because he's had a really bad day. You need to focus on his problems.
God.
And so that whole 50s,
June Cleaver.
that whole 50s. And that's the thing. I mean, I tell people I'm the mom in this house. I have a giant June Cleaver fetish. I mean, I even like the dresses that she wore, but if you treat me like Ward treated June,
She
I
was
will elbow you in the back of the fucking head.
she was like just like another appliance, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Your Frigidaire, your blend master, your
But there were men who perpetuated that because society was perpetuating that to create this situation where, women were put into a position where they had to be subservient, so that men could feel like they had purpose again.
Well, and it started with
ugh.
the Bible
Right,
being, the woman being subservient to the man who was the head of the household.
right. Well, that too, because in 46, a lot of the biblical language translations changed, and homosexual was introduced into the Bible's language in 46. Um, the focus on the woman being subservient, the amount of that actually appears in the text is not that large.
Mhm.
It really isn't. But churches started to heavily preach that narrative to continue that perpetuation. And that caused trauma for a whole shitload of people. I mean, by 1950, like before 1950 hit, like women's equal rights
Mm.
stuff was like, it was closer to suffragette. Women's suffrage was closer to becoming reality. And then the war happened and it set it all back 60 years. And so, from a social perspective, the 60s free love deal and the 70s, era of of equal rights amendments, that put it back on track. But, it had been offset by the end of World War II. And so that's why that happened.
And this is kind of triggering. I have to walk on eggshells around my ex, and he'd come home from work, and I couldn't just say if there was problems with the house or the kids or the checkbook or the whatever. I had to be very careful when it was safe to bring something up to him. Like, I couldn't just hit him with stuff as he walked in the door. I mean, I know I don't like that. I live alone now, but, like, you don't want people hitting you with stuff when you're transitioning from work life to coming home, whatever, if you work outside the home. But anyway, so, like, talking about, like, placating the man, was so triggering because I had to suppress a lot of, uh I can't even this is a symptom of the emotional and, verbal abuse, and how it's like a drip, drip, slow drip, and then you don't even realize it's happening, and I can't finish my sentences, like, sometimes. Like, so, like, I just, well,
I I have a question about that. So, Brandon, have you dealt with that in your previous relationships? That kind of dynamic?
As far as like the subservient, that kind of
Yeah,
being.
yeah.
Well, no, I had one relationship. He was very jealous, controlling. He did he
like,
didn't even want me talking to any other guys.
you wanna look at your text messaging or your phone or anything? Like,
He wanted to know what was going on at all times if I was having any kind of communication with any other guys or anything like that. And he really didn't want me talking to any other guys without him around. Because he I guess he might have suspected that I was cheating or something like that. And that was his own insecurities, of course. But
but that's the way of, like, a narcissist wants to isolate you and control you, and yeah,
yeah,
well,
and
separate you from your family and, yeah.
yeah, he was bipolar. And so that was another aspect of it. So he would get really, you know he would get mad and stuff like that. He wasn't ever physically violent toward me, which that was great. If that would have happened, I'm not gonna take that. That's it's over. But I mean, I did take more than I should have. Um, and eventually I was like, you know what, this really isn't worth it. But I was taking it partly because of my own insecurities, thinking that I found somebody that loves me, or at least you know the appearance of love, or that he said that he loved me, and I thought maybe that I loved him too. And I thought, if I let him go, am I ever going to find anybody else? So I wanted to be in a relationship. I wanted somebody to love me, and to someone to love. So I didn't want to give that up. And I thought, I can deal with this. It's okay. The good parts of it. He was funny. We enjoyed time together and things like that. But then there was that other side that was like, oh man, I just don't want to have to deal with this all the time.
Mm.
Yeah, my experience has been, especially as a bottom individual, my first rodeo go around, um, you know, he liked me and I liked him back. I mean, but when it came to physical interaction, um, publicly he didn't want any part of it. Didn't want to hold hands. Didn't want to like do any of that shit. And then when the bedroom door shut, there were expectations. And those expectations were bend over, do what I tell you, and that's it. And, the first time I took a north and a south fissure and I had bled for 2 days before I went to urgent care. And they were like, I don't even need to know why you're here. I know why you're here. And I said, um, I said, yeah, so what do I do? And they were like, well, you have to do this. And so I did that. But I felt like that was what, that was my first time out of the gate. I felt like that's just how it was. You go in the bedroom, you lay down, you bite the fucking pillow, and you just take it.
Well, that's kind of, I mean, I don't know if I probably had some of that ingrained because when I grew up, in a religious household, the woman submitted to the man, whatever it was that the man needed or wanted, the wife was to submit to her husband. And so I don't know if I didn't actively consciously think of that in my relationship, but I still wonder if that was back there, think like, well, this is what I'm supposed to do, even though it was a gay relationship.
Right.
It was still, there were still roles,
right,
that we should each play.
Right.
And I knew what my role was.
Right. Yeah, I felt the same way. And so after however much time of that with him, I had friends that were like, Wendy, he's raping you. You need to be aware of that. And I just was like, really?
Oh God.
And I and so then, one day it happened again and I just realized I'm like, I can't be in this relationship. Because I asked him, can we, can we hold hands? Can we cuddle or any of that? No. No. And then I later found out like that what he would do is he'd lay in the bed next to me and then I'd go to sleep and he'd go in the other room and crash. Which just was a horrible experience. And so, yeah, you get trauma over that.
That's one thing in the Pentecostal and I probably traditionally in Southern Baptists, that rape within a marriage didn't exist. There was no such thing.
No. Now that's very much a yes. Marital rape is not. That's not a thing.
Yeah, because you submit to your husband, and if he wants it, that's what you're supposed to. Even if you don't, or you don't like what he's doing, you in a marriage, that's what happens.
Yeah, you don't have the right to say
No.
no. You don't have the right to say no, and that causes problems. And but like I say, I mean, you say the same thing. Early on, when you start out, do you think that's what it's supposed to be? And so, I mean, did you have to deal with it, Eileen?
Oh, I was debating whether to share this or not, but
We're talking about trauma, so you should totally.
I had some weird trauma, like Okay, so, like, you're saying, like, your partner would leave the room after you'd fall asleep and didn't wanna sleep in the bed. I would wanna like, my ex, he didn't wanna cuddle, snuggle, spoon. Um, if I needed a hug and I'd, like, go I'd hug him, and he would just stand there with his arms, like, he wouldn't hug me back, and I would, like, grab his arm and be like, "I need a hug, give me a hug," and he would just withhold affection. That sucked. Um, and or, like, I'd put my leg would touch his leg in bed, and he'd kick my leg away. Like, and then towards the end of the marriage, I had to initiate sex. He never initiated sex. I don't sexual trauma, like, he would never talk about something like that, I don't know if he had something when he was a kid. I don't know. Uh, so it's like, I'll tell people, "Oh, yeah, I was married 25 years. Yeah, I'm divorced." And, "Oh, did he cheat on you?" And he didn't cheat on me. He, just, um yeah, I don't know how to explain it, like, it's the weird verbal and emotional abuse, like, I was just telling someone about this, like, the straw that broke the camel's back was I was getting the girls like, I think I'm a flight attendant, so I got home the night before late, but I still got up in the morning to help the kids, and we worked opposite shifts, so my ex was getting ready to go to work, and I was making coffee, and I go to reach for he's like, "You're not gonna drink my creamer, are you?" And, like, because we would buy, like, the almond joy creamer or the Girl Scout cookie creamer, and, like, whichever caramel macchiato, and I'm, like, reaching for one of the creamers. He's like, "You're not gonna drink my creamer, are you?" I'm like, "Get the fuck out of my house. I never wanna see you again." I mean, and you tell people, like, you got divorced because he didn't let you drink his creamer? I don't know. It just I sound like a crazy person when I
No, you're talking about a person that someone just said it, emotionally unavailable.
Yeah, and then in our therapy, he would learn what I was sensitive about because I would slam stuff in the kitchen because 'cause I'm, like, a quarter Sicilian or whatever. I think it's in my genetics, and I'm loud, like, I talk loud. Anytime I bring something up that he didn't wanna talk about, he'd say, "Stop yelling, you're yelling," and I'm like, "I'm not yelling, I'm just passionate, I'm loud." But he would want to shut me down, so, like, then I would, like, slam the microwave and, like, we would talk about this in therapy, and then he would complain for the slightest cabinet, like, shutting. Yeah, the gaslighting, like, "Do you have to slam the cabinets?" And I'm like, "I didn't slam the what?" Or, like, I'd be in bed reading, like, going to bed, and he'd come in to go brush his teeth, and he would smack the door open, and it would hit the wall, and I'd jump, and he did it just to freak me out. Like, it sounds like, I don't know. It's so weird to talk about these weird things that all added up to, like, what is happening, you know? Like, yeah. Anyway. Oh,
I can understand the creamer thing. It's like, all these huge things were going on, but when you realize something so small and seemingly insignificant, it's like, what?
yeah, yeah.
And I think that kind of maybe triggers something in your mind. It's like, what is going on here?
They feed off
You
my
know?
unstable, like, we would plan vacations, and he'd be like, "Okay, we're gonna drive to Rocky Point," that's, like, the Puerto Penasco, the Gulf of it's, like, on the what is that called? Um, Sea of Cortez. Um, just south of Arizona, you can get to this place called Rocky Point. It's really cool. It used to be, like, these beaches people would, like, tent camp on. Now it's, like, developed into all these sorts, but so we're planning a trip to Mexico and, like, "Oh, I'm getting bored," and then he'd be like, maybe we should just fly to Alaska," and then or, like, the day before, he'd be like, "You know what? I booked a Airbnb at blah, blah, blah," and I'm like, "Where are we going?" And, like, I'm trying to pack for the kids, and I'm like, for me, half the fun of a vacation is looking forward to it, but then he'd, like, pull the rug out from under us on, like, weird.
To show that he had control.
Yeah, yeah, or to see me, like, freak out, like, be like, "What?" What? Like, yeah. Yes, yeah. So the whole thing about, like, people asking me, "Oh, does uh, so did he cheat on you?" I'm like, no." "Then why'd you divorce him?" You know? Uh,
Well, I mean, as a as an abused person, a
your
person who is I was an abused person.
yours was so much more physical, and mine did get to the point where he slammed me into the wall, smashed framed things through my computer, pushed me onto the bed when I was holding one of my kids, and drove away, and we didn't know where he was going, and I left the house because 'cause I'm like, "I don't wanna be where all this broken glass is," and I didn't call the police, and they're like, "Why didn't you call the police?" And I'm like, "'Cause I didn't know what was happening to me," and then I gave him he came, and then we, reconciled, and then he wasn't gonna drink anymore, and then and when they don't drink, they're like a dry drunk, they call it, they still emotionally abuse you. People wanna blame abuse on alcohol use and then when they're not drinking, they still do the same shit, you know?
Yes. Yes, exactly. That so what you do I I won't speak to your experience.
Mm.
My experiences, I do this to her all the fucking time. I emotionally monitor people because I'm looking for that thing that, so like I tell drives her nuts. You still like me, right? Or, you still love me, right? And she's like, yes. Why would that change? Because when you're an abuse survivor, under the abuse medium, whether it was because of a relationship or in my case, it was a parent, and then many relationships that went on after that were themselves abusive relationships. And so you learn cues really well. With Zoe, when I was a kid, it was how hard her footsteps were on the stairs going down. If it was a heavier foot moving down the stairs, something was wrong. It was bad, and I was gonna have to deal with something. And so in my relationships, it was the same way. There were cues that the people that I was in relationships with would make, and when those cues happened, I knew that something bad was going to happen, and that I'd have to deal with
Mhm, mhm,
it. My problem is, or the toxicity from my perspective, that was a result of this is there were times in those relationships, specifically with Gizmo's mom, who I was married to, um, I reacted in ways that were not healthy either. Now, I mean, let's be fair. How was that? I never struck that person. I never pushed that person. I never harmed that person in any way. However, that said, if you have a 6'6", 265-pound person with all the veins in their neck popped out, screaming at the top of their lungs in your face, that would be traumatic for you. Especially when, in her case, she was like 5'7" and 120 pounds.
mhm,
I mean, that's emotionally abusive, even though, in our case, we were trading it back and forth at each other.
mhm, mhm. I stopped screaming at my kids when I got divorced, like, once he was gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I like in Gizmo's case, I never screamed at Gizmo.
Oh,
My thing with Gizmo, this was brilliant. Gizmo would just tell me, Mom, I'm going to do something. And I would be like, I need three good reasons. And if I can defeat the three good reasons, then it's not going to happen. And the problem was where I've actually had to defeat those reasons and it didn't work, like when she was 16 or whatever. She was like, Mom, I want to go skydiving. And I'm like, okay, I need three good reasons. And she's like, I want you to pack my chute. I want you to do my tandem, and then I want your friend up in Cartersville to fly us up so we can jump out of the plane. And I was like, Okay. And the reason for that is that I have about 143 jumps on my ring.
My daughter did one when she turned 18. I thought I was going to die.
I will never.
So,
once I had
like,
kids.
how never are you, Brandon?
That, I know people say never. I say shut up to those people. I will not. No.
Why jump out of perfectly good aircraft?
I know.
So, get ready to laugh. I took somebody up like you one of the last times I jumped. And he like went through the class and he like jumped off of the tall framework where you bungee jump off so that you can emulate or whatever. And like I'm like, this guy does not need to go up there. And my friend Swoop was like, we're gonna take him up. I'm like, okay. And so we're in the plane and he's like beads sweating. He's starting to get shaky, and I'm like, I told him, we need to turn around and land the plane. He's like, no, we're gonna do it. And so I told him, I'm like, all right, look, just back mount him on my back. So when we jump out of the plane, he can like duck his head behind my neck or whatever. So that when we go down, he won't be paying attention to the fact that the ground is getting closer and closer and closer. And so
wait, where's the parachute?
Parachute's attached to his back.
The novice.
Yeah.
And then the tandem, wait, there's only one parachute when you tandem? I guess.
No, there's one parachute and a backup.
And the backup. Yeah, but like the tandem, like you don't both wear.
No.
Parachute. Okay.
Yeah, so one parachute, two people. Normally you put them in front so that they can witness the.
Yeah.
All right, no. Give me the back clamps. I'm gonna put them on my back because he wasn't like, and so.
And then the novice person wears the backpack on their back.
Yeah. The novice person's wearing the chute and Pat. I pull the cord, so I have the cord reroute back to my altimeter.
Oh, I've got a story for you, but go. Are you okay?
So we get up.
Okay.
We're standing at the door. The wind's blowing, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna go. And I took one step and then grabbed the handles and tried to lunge forward. And when I did, both of his hands went for the holders and gripped. And so I'm sitting outside the plane doing this. Come on, let's go. Just let's get out. And so, no, I'm not doing it. And so my friend John gets behind him, takes his foot, shoves it into his back, and then pushes us out the plane. Now, we're outside the plane. This was a nightmarish experience. We're end over. I'm trying to stabilize the fall. I'm trying to tell him to calm the fuck down. Just calm the fuck down and quit flailing your arms and quit hitting me in the face, and this will be okay. None of that happened.
My God.
Finally, like after, and my altimeter hit like 8,000 feet, and so like it finally calmed down. That was not before he crapped himself twice. Pissed himself at least 3 times.
Stop.
Probably, you probably would have thrown up on the back of your neck.
Oh yeah. Oh,
that happened too. And so, literally, I stabilized the fall, and I just told him, "Look, just calm down." And the whole way, he's screaming that I was trying to kill him, that I was trying to take his life, and like all this shit or whatever. And so, I was gonna wait till like 4,000 feet before I pulled the chute, because when I was younger, I was a terminal velocity kid. I waited until the absolute last minute to pull my chute. And as a matter of fact, my nickname amongst that crew was they called me Crash.
Oh.
And the reason for that is I'd wait till like 2,000 feet. Between 2,500 and 2,000 feet, that's minimum. and I pull my chute. The problem with that is the chute doesn't slow you down fast enough, so you have to come in really broad and land, and then my feet would hit the ground, and I try to run to kind of slow down. But invariably, I'd fall over at the wrap tip of my chute, and people would laugh and thought that was funny. So, anyway, so at like 6,000 feet, I pulled the chute, and I'm like, we're going to just float down the rest of the way. And yeah, he didn't like that because then he could look down.
And then
Yeah.
you're taking longer to get to.
Yeah. And so, yeah.
Well, his biggest mistake was taking the class in the first place. I wouldn't have made that mistake. I'm not going to take the class. I'm not even going to give an opportunity for it.
Yeah. I remember telling John, like after his first class, get him the fuck out of here. He does not need to be in here. Just tell him to leave. But he was insistent. So
well, then I mean, I guess it's his fault.
Yeah, he was just fucking insistent about the whole thing. And so when Gizmo said, "I want you to do this," I was like, "Okay, all right." Very rarely, and that's the thing. My child was always conscious of the fact, like if they had to give me 3 reasons for something, she knew they had to be good reasons.
Yeah.
Like they just had, don't even approach me. You don't have to. So I never had to yell at Gizmo.
I gotta tell you a story though. Like my ex used to fly parachute jumpers down in Marana, which is just south of Phoenix, and then there's also Eloy, where a lot of people jump.
Right.
My daughter jumped that day, and my ex did a tandem that day too, and I just stayed on the ground and watched it all going on. But when he was getting his hours, because back then you could have 500 hours before you could apply for like the commuter, commuter airlines. Now you need 1,500 the Colgan crash, and sometimes you need like 2,500 for some major carriers, or not, or the regionals before you can. Anyway, so he was taking up, and these planes that they bring you up in are like stripped of all their weight, so they can burn less fuel, get you up in the air. They jump, go down, go get the next crew. So they're like the operation can make money without burning a lot of fuel. So like, and one day, somebody who jumped like jettisoned the parachute didn't open, then he jettisoned the emergency one and he died and got out of one of it. So he had we'd get like paperwork from the FAA for him to there was obviously it wasn't his fault, but the fact it's just a creepy thing. It's like, yeah, he flew some up in the air who jumped out.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. Not going in a hot air balloon.
Oh,
no jumping.
That one
no.
Up. Oh my God! Where
did you see?
I know.
Did you see?
I heard about
him.
Like he lowered it and people could jump out, and then the weight, the few people who couldn't get out.
Yeah, it shot it back up.
It shot back up, caught on fire, exploded. So all those people burned up and then fell. Look,
no
hot air balloon. No, let me ask you. Let me ask you this.
I go to the bathroom all the time. I need. I'm not gonna. What do you? I can't. No.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you this, Brandon. Scuba diver?
I guess it depends on how far down. I mean, I'm a little leery of the ocean. I don't know what's down there. I don't think I want to find out what's down there. If a whale came up beside me, when I watched Castaway, when he was on that little boat and this huge whale just surfaced right beside him, I would freak the fuck out. If I were down in the depths and a shark swam by me or a whale or something.
Open Waters. Did you ever see that movie?
No. So here, Brandon, I'm gonna decide this for you right now.
What?
just listen. So I did my certification dive in Monterey Bay.
Oh.
Yeah, which was really cute because Monterey Bay has sea otters and they all swim around you and they're fucking friendly and shit and they're awesome. But
yeah, that's all cute and all. Yeah, that's fine so far.
So we had a girl who was on the dive who had asthma. So if you have asthma, you should never do scuba certification.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, don't do that, because if you do, you're going to get into trouble. And so, but she did, and she didn't tell anybody. So
Yeah.
we did the dive. We got about 46 feet down.
Oh yeah.
Here's what happens before. Well, here's what happens. Glass bottom syndrome hits, which is the reverse of a fear of heights. And that's, you get all the way down, and then you look up and you realize, I'm way the fuck down here. And then you start to panic.
Oh, God.
Well, that's what she did.
And you can't go up or you're going to get the bubbly.
No. You can go up.
But if you go up too fast, then you get the bends or whatever.
That happens at like 80, 100, 150.
Oh, okay.
That's different. But like 50 feet, no. That's
you can still surface without. You'll
feel a little queasy or whatever, but not like, you won't get like, your body pressure won't go crazy.
Okay.
So we all got around her, because she was visibly, like, she was on her actuator. The bubbles coming out of her actuator were too fast. She was hyperventilating. Well, you don't want to do that, because you have a nitrogen actuator over your mouth. You're taking in more nitrogen than your body can process. Ugh. Because you're hyperventilating. And so that's what she was doing. And we were all like making the hand gestures, square breathing. In for 2, hold for 2, out for 2, hold for 2, in for 2. Yeah. And so, but she wasn't doing it. And then suddenly there was a jerk, a pop. She had an aneurysm and died right there.
Oh.
Yes. And then it was like, and that was a certification dive.
Holy hell.
Yeah. Right. Well, fuck this. That really made me think, do I want to keep doing this? Because I'm not asthmatic, but I do panic.
Yeah.
And so from that point, I said I would never go, like, I would always do like shallow dive.
I've done a few dives, but I've always was afraid that I would have had too much weight on my belt and I would just sink. That first jump in, and then you're supposed to do the okay thing, like with your hand or whatever.
Yeah.
And then once you get over that, and then you slowly, and then like I never did anything more than maybe 30 feet. But the coolest one was, so I got certified in near out like the Bahamas. That was cool. It was like this sailboat, Blackbeard's cruises out to like Bimini or somewhere and back. And then in Maui, we saw this cool octopus, and we're down there, and I kept hearing this. And I was like, whoa, that's the anchor chain making some weird noises. And then we got up, like, did you hear the whales? I'm like, holy crap.
Yes.
And like, I'm really glad I did that. I was like, that was like a life-changing, like, I don't know, like oneness with nature, when I was like, wow, I heard underwater.
Until nature decides not to agree with you.
Well,
that happened. So my parents, my mom and dad, have a house in Maui and another house in Kauai. And we dive Molokini regularly.
Mm-hmm.
And so Molokini is an atoll. So it was a volcano that sunk down, and there's a ring. And people go and dive, and people snorkel areas of Molokini all the time. Mm-hmm. And it's totally worth it. But anyway, we were down there. My brother leaned up against this brain coral that was down there. And he had his hands kind of down. Well, at that moment, a red viper eel, started to poke his head out from the rocks. And my dad was waving at him. And so my dad had the little dog clicky thing that you get in the store. Like you click on it, it makes a little clicker noise. That's what my dad has on his scuba belt. That's the danger. There's something wrong. He didn't get it off in time. And my brother jerked his hands, and when his hand jerked, the viper eel went and clamped down on his hand. Here's the thing. Moray eels and viper eels have concave teeth. They bend in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
My brother's knee-jerk
Hook and-
reaction was to pull.
Yeah.
That was a very bad idea, because then a puff of red hit the water. Now, here's the deal. Blue reef tip sharks populate that area. Now, a reef tip shark's mouth is like this big. If it takes a bite out of you, it's not, there's not going to be much to it. But they started swimming around us. So my sister and myself and the dive leader they'd like swim in towards us. You hit them on the nose and they'd swim away, but then they'd come back. And so my dad was getting my brother back up to the boat while we were behind him, and the sharks were following us. And I kept hitting them on the nose, go the fuck away. And I was trying not to panic, and I was hyperventilating a little bit when it happened. And so then, but here was the beauty. We got in the boat, and then the boatmaster, get this, was a Marine paramedic.
Mm.
And he was like, let me get my tool chest. Ran, got his tool chest, got out, stitched up my brother's hand, and then we took him to the hospital. When we got to the hospital, the MD at the hospital was like, who did this dressing? And my brother was like, the guy on the boat. He was like, he did a better job than I could do. And I said, yeah, he was a gold wing paramedic in the Marines. That's why. And I remember asking the guy, why is that? And he was like, those guys can do field surgery better than I can do in a clean environment. And so yeah, Brandon, don't.
I'd rather not.
Just,
I mean, I'm okay.
If the water's 5 feet deep, do that. Don't do anything else.
I love water. I love going to water parks and slides. I love going floating, canoeing, and everything. I'm not a great swimmer. I took swimming lessons when I was little, and I didn't do very well.
Right.
So I like being in the water and everything, just not deep in the water.
Deep in the water.
I was 3 when my mom had me do swimming lessons at the Y, and the woman who was teaching it, like, I might have been, maybe I was 3 or 4. I will never forget. I thought I was going to drown. Like, they kept pushing me to swim to the side, and I kept going on. And I'm like, I'm going to fucking die. And like, I still can remember that. Like, it was an indoor pool, and then coming up and out. And I was like traumatized. I don't think my mom ever brought me back because I was so upset. Like, oh, it was horrible.
Yeah, I didn't stay very long in my swimming lessons. They wanted me to go under and open my eyes underwater. Like, I'm not going to open my eyes underwater.
Oh,
The guy was trying to. I was supposed to go under and open my eyes and say how many fingers he was holding up. I'd go under the water and reach over and try to feel his hands to see how many fingers he was holding up. I wasn't going to open my eyes.
No, I mean, you definitely. You know the trick for that, right?
Well, I haven't learned it.
You can hold, old diver's trick. You can hold your hand up over your eyebrow, blow bubbles up into your hand, and create a void that will allow you to see in the water. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, like, look, trust me. If your mask comes off,
oh God.
water, and that happens, yeah, you have to.
Well, they train you. You do that in your certification, but
Yeah,
yeah, to panic every time.
yeah. The only time I ever had something like that happen was I was doing a shallow dive with sea cows, manatees. The manatee kept hitting me in the face.
Oh,
Like, they kept, like, I would sit there and like float or whatever, and then they bop you in the face or whatever. You're not a cow. It's not. Anyway, so all right, well, yay.
Well, we didn't get to the video, but we can save that for another day,
No.
I
I'll
guess.
save the video. I'm just gonna tell you. We'll do that one on Tuesday. We'll do that one on Tuesday. But I don't. Well, were you disappointed by the first video?
Yeah, I wouldn't say
Okay.
I was disappointed. No,
I don't think you'll be disappointed by the second video.
I was a bit shocked, I guess. I was like, what is this?
Here's the thing. Same developer.
Oh, well, yeah.
Same developer. So I
No.
feel like I don't know. How would you? I want your opinion about this. How would you uh, uh, feel like a random reaction video, some random video about a piece of gaming software where I ask you, watch this video and tell me how gay it is?
Oh, yeah, I could do that.
Okay.
I could live the rest of my life and never play a video game ever again.
What?
Seriously.
What?
I mean, I liked HtFAWD and Pac-Man I can take, but
Oh yeah, Pac-Man.
but these like shoot 'em up, chasing, and the other strategies, and you're playing with other people, and I like it's weird to watch that people watch other people playing video games. Like my daughter's told me about
Yeah,
that.
I'm not into that.
Hi, I'm one of those people. I play video games. But get this.
I've
If Sarah is in here, Sarah will tell you.
Yeah.
Sarah will tell you that when she watches me play video games, it's not me playing video games that she's watching. She runs it in the background because she likes the music that I play my video games to concentrate.
Isn't that what Spotify's for? I mean, I don't know.
Well, it's just my it's my musical taste. And because I'm just gonna say I'm an old first person perspective shooter person. So Quake and Doom and all that shit. When I play those games, I have to listen to loud, grind crushingly metal music. Edward, you should not have said that to me. I've been a Guild Wars player for 18 years. And I was on beta, by the way, for the original Guild Wars game release. So,
Oh, look how many viewers we have.
oh my God, what stops a good 69? A period.
Hello, ever heard of a tampon? Duh.
Wait. Did either of you watch the ketchup video in the chat?
You saw my comment. I'm glad I finished my dinner. Remember? Oh, you're asking.
Brandon, you didn't watch it? Here, I'm gonna.
The what?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to see it.
No, I want Brandon's reaction to.
Did you say ketchup?
Hold on. Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna send it to you right now, Brandon.
You say.
Yeah, ketchup. Hold on. It's great.
It's ketchup.
It's really great.
Other things.
Where are you? Are you sending it in?
I will send it to. I will Substack chat it to you.
Oh.
And it's like 14 seconds or whatever. This isn't like a long.
It's with like stack chat, and then there's the there's the individual thing, whatever. I don't know.
Here you go.
Right.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, okay. Wait.
Right.
YouTube short.
Before you click on it.
Oh no, I already clicked on it. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
I pushed pause. What?
I know the person in the video.
Oh boy.
It's not you.
All right. Should I watch it?
Yeah, watch it.
Let me watch it now. Oh, I don't have the sound. Do I need the sound?
Is there sound? I don't think I heard it with sound.
No, there's sound all right.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't watch it with sound. Oh God, I'm gonna have to go back and watch it with sound.
Oh. Oh. I don't like ketchup that much.
Do you want fries with that?
Ugh.
Here. I'm gonna
I
be.
think I like ketchup even less now.
I'm gonna. Yeah. Okay. There you go. If you guys click on that, it's not my fault, by the way. Here's the thing. So let me.
So you know the person in the tub.
Yes.
Oh,
I. And Eileen, no, it is not me.
Okay.
I was just gonna ask that.
It is not me.
Okay.
And here's why that video happened. So I have two friends, and one of the two friends is in the tub, and the other of my friends, who is a transbian dominant woman, so she's trans and she identifies as a lesbian and she's dominant. And the reason that it happened was two things. One, the person had been exposed to a skunk.
Well,
And then
Tomato
so
sauce or tomato, anything tomato, yeah.
right.
yeah.
Also, the person had their friend for the month,
Oh, God.
and
Oh,
the dominant person didn't like the taste.
Well, there's something going on there.
Right. So
Okay.
one day we were talking in Discord or whatever, and I was like, here's what it was. We were talking about, I hate to make this reference, but there's people that should know about this. I was talking about the Goatsy Man. Have you heard of the Goatsy Man?
No.
Okay, don't go search for it. I will not be responsible for that. But in the early 2000s, shock links were a thing. Like you sent shocking videos to people and you watched them react. That was funny. And the Goatsy Man was one of them. And so I was like, oh, that's the worst thing I've ever seen. And my friend, who was like, oh, no, I got you beat. And she dropped that video into the chat from her phone. And I clicked it and I went, I don't know that I find that gross. And she was like, well, I got her out and washed her off. And then we went and I went,
Yeah, that's a lot.
I did not need to know that.
People I know how to click on things in the chat on my iPad or my phone.
Yeah, you sort of have to copy them.
That's what I was gonna say. Copy and paste.
Yeah, you have to copy them.
Well, how click on stuff in the chat though on Substack Lives? Like, can you ever? You have to
no, they have not enabled URL backlinks.
So I do I screenshot and then I'll like copy the links and I'll do it that way sometimes.
Right.
All right.
Right. So anyway, Julie, if you want me to send it to you in a message, I will send it to you. I will tell you, Julie, that I did post it yesterday into the Wendy the Druid chat. You can go find it there. But I won't be responsible for any psychological damage that happens as a result of watching it.
I love this live today, though. I've spent this last hour not even like thinking about the Epstein files. Speaking of trauma.
Well, I want to be very clear, and I won't. By the way, Brandon, did you see the story from I think yesterday?
Oh, your what you put in your Substack, Wendy, about
the afternoon. So the afternoon story about the bar, that's an everyday thing.
Oh.
Yeah, that's an everyday thing now. And so what I'm doing with the bar stories at the end of the day is that's about current news events around the narrative of the Sanctuary Bar, which is a fictional bar.
I had Substack read it to me, and for some reason, it's a British woman's accent. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, if you have the Cora voice for or whatever, it's it's really fun. But here's the thing. So Brandon I think Brandon, were you I think I put you into yesterday's story, and I want to be sure I characterized you correctly. Um, Maybe it wasn't that one. Maybe it was the one before that even. Let me look. Yeah, maybe this is it. Yeah. Uh, uh, Brandon let out a bitter laugh that sounded like broken glass. Take your fucking pick. We have a buffet of bullshit tonight. He gestured vaguely at the air as if molecules were contaminated with stupidity. First, they're canceling Colbert because apparently truth telling is bad business when bad for business when you're trying to kiss Trump's wrinkled orange ass. And so, right. And so,
Nice visuals.
yeah. So I have asked readers if you want to be a random character because that's the daily story. I'm not going to do like, this is what happened in the news today. I'm just going to wrap around what happened in the news today in the short story at the end of the day. Now, that will require you to participate. If I put you as a character in the bar, Eileen, the bar is a queer safe space.
Right.
So you have to be okay with being characterized as being in a queer safe space.
That's fine. I love Miguel behind the bar, like bartender.
Oh, so Miguel is actually based on a real life character. And his name was Hector. And he was the barman at the pub that I used to go to.
And you
I
didn't
never knew that Hector was actually an FTM trans guy. Never knew. Like, didn't know. Like, I went in there one day after years of not going in there, and what happened to Hector? Well, Hector passed away, and I was like, well, shit. And so it was I think it was his brother or his cousin that took over for him. But I got the whole story, and I was like, so Miguel is actually a real person.
Yeah.
Based on a real person.
And I love that, like we all go through life and we don't know if someone who seems like a cisgender man, it could be gay, and like you never know, and it's like, and that's okay. Like, why can't we live our lives? Like, why do we have to know what everyone does with their whatever? Like, I'm okay. Well, that's a whole conversation for another time. But like, but I think that
So, like Bubba, who was a friend of mine from college, he's the like black gay guy, and Remy was also a friend of mine from college, roommate, and he's the Cajun, speaks in half French person, and so Elaine said put me in there, and so Elaine is like the 60-year-old gray sexual lesbian woman. So yeah, instead of doing the short list, this is what happened in the news today. I'm just writing that story at the end of every day at 5:00. So
I'm thank you for accepting me into the community. I mean, I feel like I always joke I'm involuntarily asexual, but I'm an ally. I mean, unless you count masturbation as like being sexual, so am I asexual? If I don't know what I am. I'm like,
here's the thing: if you consider yourself asexual, you're one of the letters, involuntary or not.
Okay, yeah.
So, I mean, I don't.
Yeah, because no one's knocking down my door or chasing me, or I'm. Everyone thinks, oh, a flight attendant. Oh, you sleep around. I can count on one hand, and it was never anything like. Okay, never mind. Yeah.
So, I will tell you, like, if you want a digest of what happened in the news at the end of the day, just listen to the bar story.
Okay.
That's the whole purpose of the bar story is to tell everybody what happened in the news, and in a way that makes it approachable and ingestible and not just disastrously bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't want this to we want to live our lives. I mean, I'm like George Bailey again on the bridge. I want to live again. I want to live again,
Yeah, I will tell you, for instance, the one from today is actually glaringly positive.
Cool.
So, yeah, I actually, I actually intend to, like, there's ones that are going to be like, this is depressing, they're trying to kill us, versus I'm trying to do ones that are positive, like, here's the positive end of it. This is how somebody in that situation would react. And so the whole purpose of the story is to just repeat the daily news,
Yeah.
but in a fictional narrative that can make you feel positive about it.
That we can digest,
Yeah.
all this stuff being the narrative all the time. Like, go the F away. I want politics to be boring again. Like,
Right.
F.
Right. Okay. Well,
Okay.
Brandon, you got anything else?
Oh my heck. That's
All right.
I think I'm good.
All right.
I've
Elaine,
got to prepare myself for the next video.
Oh,
the next video?
Yeah, for Tuesday, I guess, right?
What's the next video for Tuesday?
No, your video.
Oh, well, that won't be until 8 o'clock.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, that'll be 8 o'clock.
what time is it? Yeah, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, it's like 3 o'clock.
Where am I? What day?
I might go a little later. I don't know. We'll just see. But this was really good. Thank you both.
And now it's
yes, thank you.
Murphy's ready for a nap.
Okay, Kitty, Brandon, thank you, dear. Always.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Eileen.
Thank you.
And everybody, 8 o'clock. Don't have too much fun.